All right, hey guys, for those of you that have been with my channel ever since I came on a couple years ago, know that I came onto YouTube to provide an external source of kind of continuing education for the people that came to my herbal workshops, my wildcrafting workshops, health, wellness, learning how to become more self-sufficient, especially and primarily in the realm of medicine, knowing how to harvest, prepare, use natural medicine safely and effectively, and knowing all of the nuances that go into that. And so I have spent my whole adult life trying to help people become more self-sufficient in that realm. So I originally started my channel as a way to have people have access to me after the class, or I could still share stuff. And of course, that is a pretty broad area because it ties into a lot of things about natural healing and natural health and natural skincare. Because I've also been teaching about natural skincare for 30 years, if not longer than that now. My gosh, probably longer than 30 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. So those are things that I'm passionate about as far as the practical level of the world. But of course, I also used it as a platform to provide commentary on a lot of the things going on in the world from my perspective and from the research that I've done and from what knowledge I've gained over the years, because I have been paying attention for a very, very long time. I was one of the, teenagers of the 80s that was telling people while I was still in high school that shit was going to hit the fan. And people just thought I was crazy. And I wasn't religious, and there'd be people standing on the corners, Jesus is coming, whatever. And I'd be like, I don't believe that story, but we are going to be entering into the final stand, within the next, I didn't know how long. I had no idea how long. I thought it was going to happen sooner than what it actually did, because the minute I started seeing the computers, sunscreens, all of these chemicals were really starting to boom. They were already there, but they were really starting to take up a lot more space. And they were just pumping them out like there's no tomorrow. And I could see it. I could see everything unfolding. And yeah, I was clearly aware of the agenda back in the 80s when I was, teenager. And of course, I graduated in 86. So early 80s, like mid 80s. And then here we are in the final stand. And it's taken us this long to get here. Well, for those of us that have been paying attention a long time. So it's been brutal watching it unfold. It's just been continuing to unfold. And, here we are. The world is run by, powerful people who don't give a shit about humanity. And it's humanity's final stand. And, it's really crazy out there. And when I put out a video on mineral powder, or just, a little video on skincare or what have you, it seems so trivial comparing it to what is going on. But yet we all have to live a practical life, right? Despite the fact that all this stuff is going on, we still have to get up every day, live our lives, and there's certainly practical value to taking care of your skin and not putting things on your skin that are getting absorbed into your bloodstream and could potentially harm you, kill you, maim you. So I like to share that stuff with you guys because I'm trying to weave it together. And because YouTube likes to censor my videos, I generally don't know what they're going to censor and what they're not going to censor. And they never tell me why. They never give me any kind of details. And they may tell me that I violated a policy, but then I'll go read the policy and I was well within the limits of the policy of sharing my own personal experiences. So they're definitely on to me. And it's really frustrating. So I'm very limited with what I can say on YouTube. I've thought about changing platforms, but nobody's on any other platform. There's just nobody there. And I don't even have a huge following here, which is okay. Like, I'm not here for the following. I'm here for just the people that are here because they want to be here, because they want to feel, part of, something that they align with. But I'm not interested in numbers. I don't care about numbers. But I do get probably more views when I talk about mineral powders or skincare than I do some of the other topics. Now, I don't want to be that person who steers my channel in the direction of what most people want to listen to, because honestly, this is not a priority to me. This is just something that I talk about because I use them, I love them, I talk about them, but it's certainly not the priority and the focus of my channel. So I'm trying to balance it all out, all right? So I don't want to combine this with a video on this. I do want to talk about this though, because it's one of my latest finds in the world of really clean mineral powder formulas. But I just wanted to share this with you guys for now, so that going forward, there will be a little bit of a struggle for me, I guess. Well, there's always been a struggle, but I think it's even more so now. There's a struggle for me to balance my channel with just some practical stuff and the real nitty-gritty stuff, because it's really bad out there. Like, we are on such a dark and dangerous path. The whole brain chipping, taking over the water supply completely. They've already taken over the land situation, taking over the food supply. When I say they, I mean the criminals in charge. We live in absolutely terrifying times. Now, it's always been terrifying to be on this planet, but things are getting to be so insanely, grotesquely, disgustingly criminal. And the average human is just getting up every day, doing the bump and grind, and going about their fucking business. Because what are they going to do? Like, what can we do? What can we do? Because until all of humanity stands together and says, fuck you, no, they're going to get what they want. They're going to keep going, because there's not enough of us standing up and saying no and meaning it. I've been standing up and saying no for years, but I've always been the only fucking one in my area. There might be 2, there might be 3, but the absolute minority. That's not really comforting. It's not really comforting when you know that you're one of the only people who's going to stand up. During mask time in my area, everywhere I went, I was one of the only people without a mask. I remember going into Walmart once with my son, and I didn't have a mask on, and he had one in his pocket. I never made him wear it, never told him to put it on. We did have them, though, with the exception of seeing my dad when my dad was in the nursing home. and there's no way I wasn't going to see my dad because my dad was dying. So we did keep masks with us in the vehicle, in my truck, because we may need them if we had to go see my dad. But that was the only time I ever wore a mask. Oh, I did wear it. I did wear it maybe on a few other occasions, but only very, very briefly, just for like a moment, because in that moment, what I was doing was more important to me than saying no to the mask. But again, it was very, very rarely. And I remember being in Walmart. We walked into the store, and there was not one other person without a mask on. I was the only person without a mask on. And my son at the time was younger. He wouldn't be that way now, but he was younger. And he wanted to put his mask on because we were literally the only ones without the mask. And I looked at him and I said, "Don't you dare put that on your face. Don't you dare. Don't you dare." And being in a big store like that and being the only person without a mask on, well, with my kid, and everywhere I went, I almost got kicked out of CVS. I never shop at CVS, but I'd had a little bit of a scratchy throat. So I went in to get some cough drops. And I didn't have a mask on, and he told me that he couldn't ring me out because I didn't have a mask on. And I just said I have a medical exemption. And he was like, okay. But he tried to kick me out. Someone from Walmart told me that I couldn't go into the store, and I just ignored him and kept walking. I said, "No, you're wrong. I can go in." I said, "There's no law." I said, there's no law that tells me that I have to muzzle my face, and I just walked in. And I said, even if there was a law, I wouldn't do it anyway. But yeah. And I know there's people that feel the way they feel about it. Well, oh, you know, stay home. If you're afraid, stay home. Stay the fuck home. Nobody made you leave your house. If you are afraid of catching something, stay home. You can get everything you need by ordering it. You don't need to leave your house. You can work from home. You can order your food from home. You can order everything you need from home. So if you are afraid of breathing air without a mask in front of your face, stay home. That's just how I feel. You don't own the world, right? I can't stop people from spraying their fucking pesticides, can I? No. My neighbors spray it. Gets everywhere. They're using their toxic laundry detergent. It gets out into the air through the vents. It's terrible. There's times when I go for a walk and I have to turn around and come home because there's too many people in the neighborhood doing their laundry. Yeah. So this is where we're at. We live in crazy, crazy, crazy times. Sane people are the minority. We are the absolute minority. I hope that changes. I hope that there's like this massive awakening really, really soon. Is there going to be? I don't know. I don't know. Might just be a crazy dream that I think more people are going to wake up. But we live in dangerous times, you know? They were talking about, wouldn't it be great if something came around and made people sick from eating meat? And now we've got alpha-gal that is like all over the place now. That a coincidence? Is that a coincidence? I don't think it's a coincidence. There's a million other coincidences too. That's just like a big one because we all know the whole vegan agenda is in full swing. Meat's bad, animals are bad, farting cows are bad. It's insane out there. It's insane. They're forcing farmers in Norway to drug their animals so that they don't fart as much. Yeah. What's that going to do to their animals? What's it going to do to them? Oh, it's killing some of them. No, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that? Now they're removing the black box label off HRT. Now they're saying fluoride. Oh, not only is there no evidence that it's bad for you, we actually think it's like really good for us and really good for our brain and really has benefits. This is where we're at. It is the separating of the worlds, man. Like I can feel it. And, you know, I'm really at that point where I am really surrendering very deeply to the truth that there's not a damn thing I can do about it. People are aligning right now with what they are anchored to. You are either completely taken over by the matrix, or you are anchored by something incredibly profound and cosmic that goes so far beyond this matrix, and it allows you to have that deep intuitive sense of what is right and what is wrong. And this is the separating for sure. And I have come to see that people who are not connected to that source of truth and love, there's nothing you can say or do to get them to want what you want. There's just nothing. Because remember, awakening is not in the mind. Awakening is at the level of the spirit. And this is where we're at. So, we live in crazy times. They want to charge you for the air that you breathe. These people are fucking asshole criminals. And I can't believe that more people have not stood up by now and said no. No. Why is humanity not standing together? Did people not watch the movie Ants? Did you not watch that show? You have to do it together. We have to do it together. But people are either too ignorant or cowards. I'll take a bullet for it. I'll go down for it. I'm not afraid of death, but I am sure as hell not living as a complete slave. This is bad enough. This is bad enough. But to willingly comply with your slave masters, what do you think you're going to get more of? What do you think you're going to get? Freedom is not even an option if we continue down this path. Not even in the tiniest little bit. And getting thrown these little crumbs. Oh, you're getting thrown these crumbs. Oh, look, oh, look, oh, look, oh, look. RFK did this. That's just to pacify the plebs. This is all theater. Every single bit of it. Okay? It's like a popular band singing a song with words that you're like, oh, they get it. They're at the Met Gala. They get it all right. They get it all right. How deep in it do you need to be invited to the Met Gala? That's some dark shit. It's all theater. Because the agenda is continuing to plow along, just like there's no right or left. There's no Democrat, Republican. Like, that's theater. They all support the agenda. They all support the same agenda. And it's still moving along. It's moving along. And there's just too many people on this planet that are just not smart enough to see that. Which is not surprising and it's not shocking. It's just heart-wrenching. It's heartbreaking. It makes me feel sick. It literally makes me feel disgusted and sick. But I'm still gonna push through. And one of the things that I am eternally grateful for is that I was not the kind of person who was born with a depressed mind. I just don't have a depressive tendency. And it's not to say that I don't have bad days, and it's not to say that I don't have bad moods, but I don't have a depressive nature where I don't let things get me so down that I just can't function. Now, if something happened to my children, I think that's a whole nother story. I just don't know that I'd ever recover from that. But I'm a pretty hardy person, and I've always been able to just push through no matter how bad things got. And I'm not one to pity myself and feel bad for myself and get into that melancholy state. And it's like I can still just function and do what I need to do. And it's something that I'm really grateful for. I can't say that's something that I've done for myself, it's something that I was born with. And I'm eternally grateful that I have that ability. But I look around at the world now and I just feel like we're toast if we don't stand together. Or if there isn't any divine intervention. So who knows? Maybe all of these unusual things going on with the sun and the planet and, all these things that are happening that are not normal. Okay, they're not normal. Things are happening that they've never seen before. So this is very, very interesting. We live in interesting times. So who knows? Who knows? But this is the last stand. It is the last stand for humanity. We're on the verge of all becoming cyborgs, okay? Elon Musk is putting up more and more of his facilities because they plan on putting microchips into humans' brains. And this is going to be happening sooner rather than later. And you don't need a chip to be controlled. Just know that. You can be brainwashed and mind controlled. You don't actually need a physical chip in the brain. Most people don't need a physical chip in the brain. They're going to go along with it no matter what. But the chip is going to get those that want miraculous healings through like the health world. Their body's not working too good, or they suffer from something, So they're gonna get those people in that way, because there's the majority of the population doesn't even need a chip. They've already bought it hook, line, and sinker. They're going no matter what. But this is actually going to give people those miracle healings that so many people desperately want. I'd rather fucking die. I'd rather die. I will die before I get anything implanted into my being, into my body. Yeah. Because we don't die. We're eternal. We just leave our avatar. Fuck my avatar. I'll leave this behind quicker than you can even imagine if it comes down to it. And I want to leave my kids. But I'm also not going to be a mind-controlled, programmable slave. Not happening. I hope it doesn't happen for you either. Signing out.